Hello everyone. Yeah, my name is Pedro and you guys already know Fernando. And for this week we decided to create something different for you guys. And we will talk about what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks because the trading will not be really active, let's say. And what we're going to do is we're going to share for you guys what we think is going to happen for the next entire year, for the year 2021. We'll give you some insights regarding the Bitcoin, regarding gold, regarding some pairs like EURUSD, GBPUSD, and we will also give you some insights regarding the indexes. All right? Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and enjoy the video.
So let's start by gold. As we talked in the week before, we are expecting a down move on gold. We are on the weekly time frame, okay, and we have here the wave count for the down movement on gold, followed by the correction, and now the first and second wave here. So we can expect a third wave to this target, okay? The market, as I said before, also in the previous week, it's gonna stay sideways for some time here, okay? It's going up and down, up and down, up and down multiple times until it decides to make a massive drop, basically until this area. I see a lot of reviews, everyone talking about gold making new highs, probably till this target or around here, making a new top. I don't think that will happen now. In the upcoming year, I think gold is gonna keep dropping until at least this target, and then we can make another wave to the upside until 2000 basically. So on gold, expect this kind of movement. Let me move to the daily time frame. As you can see, we had a rejection here, but we're gonna have multiple daily candles here until the gold decides to make the move to the downside, okay? So for now, trade between this range, and always try to look for sells in the top. When I mean in the top, you go to the 1 hour time frame, and when you see such big spikes like this one here, also here and here, you can take a sell, okay? So let's move on to the Euro USD now. As you can see in the weekly time frame, what we see here, it's basically a big downtrend on the Euro USD, okay? So as you can see, this is showing us that we broke the trend line here on the weekly time frame. So everyone will start looking for buys here on the Euro USD, okay? But what everyone is not, they don't see at the moment is that we still didn't break this top. We made a lower top here. Even though we broke this trend line, this can be a fake break, okay? And the movement that I'm expecting is just a reverse movement from the uptrend, and it goes back below the trend line, okay? And we will be back on the downtrend basically. When we are back on this downtrend, then we can decide if we can clearly look for sells into this pair, okay? But what I'm expecting is this kind of movement, and if we have this movement, if we touch this area again, then we can expect a bigger drop. At least this target. As you can see, we broke this resistance here. The price tried to break many times here, this demand area, to test the next demand area, but we didn't break and we broke to the upside. So I'm expecting the movement to reverse, and then we can come back to this area and test this demand area. Okay, we need to test this demand area if we are expecting a bigger upside movement. I don't think that the price is just gonna keep flying from here and touch a new top. I think we are going to reverse, then touch this demand area. That's what you can expect for this pair. Okay. So let's move to the pound USD. The pound USD, as I mentioned before in the previous video also, I'm expecting this kind of drop, okay, until this target at least. On the daily time frame, you can see we had a gap down here, a big drop, then the movement just reversed. I think we are just retesting the gap, basically filling the gap, and now we will be back to the downside. Okay, when we are back to the downside, expect the price to break many support areas, as I mentioned before. So moving to the silver, as you can see, from March until July we had this rally here, then the price rejected this area, and you can also see that the price is making basically a lower hikes here. You see every top it's lower than the previous one. So I also expect the movement on gold, the silver basically will make the same movement as the gold. Okay, they are related and they usually move in the same pattern. They can change a little bit basically the pips they move, but the pattern will be the same. Okay, so I am expecting the price to test this area at least. Okay, here, as you can see, we have this demand area here. Even if we want to break to the upside again, we need to test this demand area, because there is a lot of orders here from people that caught this rally. If they are still holding the orders, the price will just come back to remove their orders there. So it makes perfect sense for the price to touch this demand area again. So expect also a down movement on the silver and the Bitcoin, basically what everyone is talking about. We made new highs on Bitcoin and we are just going to the moon, it seems. But Bitcoin is so popular right now that everyone wants to have a Bitcoin, or everyone wants to invest on Bitcoin. Usually when this happens, when something becomes so popular, the movement is always the inverse. Okay, if everyone is looking to buys, even if we make another top, let's say the price moves again to here, even if we make a new top, the price will drop massively. Okay? The price has to drop because it is so popular right now, and banks won't just let it pass like that. You can't expect free money on the market, and when everyone is talking about the same thing. Okay, so Bitcoin made a big rally, but the movement will be kind of similar to gold after it makes the top. Okay, don't just try to catch the top. It's very difficult to catch the top on a big trend. Just wait for the price to come back down, look for the 4 hours time frame, and when we have a perfect breakdown to the downside, then you can enter sales. Don't just try to enter sales right now because the price is just rallying too much. Okay, but into the next year we are expecting the Bitcoin price to drop also. Okay, at least until this area here. This is our demand zone here. This will be the price that we are expecting after the drop we have on the Bitcoin. So that's it for this week, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good year and Merry Christmas to everyone.
Hello guys, so as we were speaking, I will stick with the dollar index, and we are actually going to look for my opinion regarding the dollar for the next year. So as you guys can see here by monthly, we can see here that we spot already some massive resistance and support. And what we can see actually as well is, you know, that the dollar has made a rally up down. We have here correction, and we are actually going down as well, always in a monthly perspective. And if you look here as well, we can see that this correction here, it was a previous resistance and support from 2015, and again 2017, again 2018, again this year, and now we saw he touch here in the previous resistance, and then it went down. If you look here at weekly perspective, and this is what we think is going to happen for 2021 if we don't see any change regarding this index. So we can clearly see that it's in a descending channel, all right, and we cannot forget that we have here a massive support at 0.88500 more or less. And you can see here this week actually the dollar went a little bit up, but it's still going further down now. So you might go touch this support, and then after the year we should see a rally up for the dollar. Analysis for this week and for the next year. And I actually want to talk to you about something which is the dollar itself. And if you guys look closely at how dollar has been behaving this year, and it's kind of reasonable to understand why it's like that, because we had this massive COVID-19 situation that no one actually predicted, and this event actually pushed really down the dollar. And we are expecting for the next year to have a small recovery, not a big one, and I'll tell you why. Because if you look worldwide, for every country literally, and you look and you understand that most of the businesses, they were closed, and most of the people they were unemployed, or they are now unemployed, and they were working through home through different conditions. And this is something that no one predicted, and it actually affected all the market itself. So what I'm thinking that's going to happen for the next year is like a dollar for sure, recovery of the dollar, but we will take some time. Yeah, it will take some time to recover, but we'll be here and we will be looking for more opportunity, of course, but it will not be like this year, you know, because after this pandemic, all the business, they take time to recover. And if you look in a long-term positions, most of the businesses, they will start to get people working now normally after the vaccination. They will start to sell again. People will lose, let's say, the frightened to be on middle of aircrafts or bus stations or middle of the street, because we are now immune to the disease. Not only that, of course, but there was other events like the race to the presidency, where Donald Trump actually won, with all the conspiracy thing that happened with Joe Biden and stuff. So all these events actually affect one of the biggest, I can say, the biggest currency in the world, which is the dollar. And that's why he pushed so low the dollar this year, because of all of these situations. But we are expecting, like I told you, for the next year to be a green year, let's say, for dollar. And let's see how we can actually capitalize some opportunities, and let's try to be more reactive than predictive. And I think we will actually have some really good tradings for the next year. And that's it, guys. That's my opinion for the dollar. I hope you guys enjoy it, and